First of all, I'd just like to welcome you to Askham Bryan College. As you can see, this is who we are. We're the UK's largest specialised land-based college, 6 locations across the north of England, and we own 7,000 acres of land, including 4 commercial farms. We have 350 residential rooms. So, welcome to Engineering at Newton Rigg. The presentation content is basically going to cover the introduction to the staff, course details, qualification requirements of what you need to whatever level course you're going to do, what the students have to say about some of the facilities that we have at Newton Rigg, materials required, so that's the things that you'll be requiring to come and start the course, a little bit of information about the trips, things that we go on, and progression and career opportunities, basically where you can move on from when you finish the course. So, introduction to staff. Lindsay Wedgwood, she's the head of our department and currently through at York at this minute in time. Scott White, that's myself, the engineering course manager of the full-time courses, and Anthony Gibson, who's an engineering course manager for the apprenticeships. We've got Phil Stevenson, who's a technician, and Nathan Thatcher, who's a technician instructor who comes through basically on Fridays, and he's also a coded welder, so he's fantastic when we're going on them units. A little bit about the course details. So in engineering as it stands, we offer 3 pathways. We've got the level 2 diploma in land-based technology, so that's a 1-year course and is made up of 7 units equating to 60 credits. We've got level 3 subsidiary diploma in land-based technology. This is the first year of the full level 3 diploma, and again it's made up of 7 units equating to 60 credits. And then we've got the level 3 diploma in land-based technology. This is the second year of the level 3 full diploma, but you have to have completed the first year to do this part. Again, it's made up of another 6 units, giving you another 60 credits to gain the 120 required to achieve the full qualification. Course details for level 2. So it's just showing you a couple of the things that we units that we run. So applying mechanical principles is all about bearings and things and so on. We have a servicing and maintenance of land-based machinery, so we do a lot of servicing, oils and filters and repair work. Engine operations, so basically we do a lot of stripping engines. We've got a complete engine bay that we can work in, lots of static engines that we can strip down, take measurements, rebuild back up and so on. We've got 202, which is maintain tools and equipment. So basically on that one, we go through a lot of the main tools that you'll use, and obviously we carry out, at the minute it's been three different tasks to make sure that we cover all the tools and equipment that we have in the workshop. We've got 203, which is material preparation. Just recently we've made a block and rod, but we've also made a small hammer and other things within the workshop. Health and safety, which we've got to do on every unit, every level that we do. Health and safety is one of the main things that we need to get our head around. And we've got 208, which is the thermal joining and cutting process, which most people enjoy, which means we do a bit of welding and a bit of gas cutting and so on. We use 3 different disciplines on that. We use stick welders, we use MIG welders, and we also use gas. Level 3 subsidiary diploma. Again, as you can see, service and repair of engine components. It's slightly deeper, or a lot deeper, should I say, than the level 2 course. So working with land-based vehicle engine technology, again, this is more about taking measurements and looking for wear and things within engine components. Health and safety, again, land-based workshop practices, vehicle chassis systems, which will cover brakes and other things in, service repair of hydraulic systems and components. Again, we do a lot of testing for flow things on hydraulic systems, and to see for the serviceability of pumps. And we have land-based office on thermal joining cutting processes. As you can see, that's come through again. Basically, if you've already done that on a level 2 course, or if you've been on a level 2 course and you proceed on to the level 3 subsidiary diploma, there'll be another unit that we'll need to put in there to get the accreditation that we need. And then there's the level 3 diploma, 306 work experience, because you will have to do 150 hours each year with that. It's all about keeping a logbook and looking at things like doing interview techniques, and so on. So there's quite a bit involved in the work experience. Mechanical power transmission systems, so all about gearboxes. Diesel fuel injection systems, which is one that I'm currently on with now with my level 3 year 2 students. Servicing cultivation and plant equipment, working with application equipment and hydrostatic and CVT transmissions. So there's plenty to go at over the full 2 years if you decide to move on to the full level 3 diploma. Course qualification requirements. So basically for level 2, you need 4 GCSEs at grade 3 or above, to include 2 from English, Maths and Science, with at least a grade 2 in the remaining subjects, or level 1 diploma at pass rate with English and Maths at level 1. For level 3, 4 times GCSE at grade 4 or above, to include 2 from English, Maths and Science, with at least a grade 3 in the remaining subject, or level 2 diploma at merit with English, Maths and Science at level 2. Right, so now we come to what our students have to say. As you can see, we've got one there from George, who's currently one of my level 2 students at this minute in time. So as he's put there, he likes the practical elements of the engineering course, like most of my students do, as he's learning new skills, and there's plenty of support from helpful, friendly tutors if you have any questions. Maya is also one of my level 2 students at this minute in time. Basically, as you can see again, she says she's enjoying the course, giving her a good insight into mechanical engineering and land-based industry, as that's what she hopes to go into. And support is always there when you need it. Yet we try to pride ourselves on that to make sure that we are there for all our students whenever they need us. All our courses have integrated work placements as part of the program. So basically, you will go out and you will do a work placement. But as we see as we go through, what days you'll be doing depending on what course you decide to go on to. Engineering workshop. Basically, it's split into 7 main parts. We've got the engine bay, which I mentioned before. That's where we've got all our engines, where we do engine strips and rebuilds. We've got a small classroom area where we have a couple of whiteboards, and it's a good place for us to be able to do the practical, go into the classroom, and actually show some of the theory in relation to what we've just done in some of the workshop areas. We've got 2 main servicing and repair bays, where we can normally fit around about two tractors in each, normally a couple of other items if need be. We've got a purpose-built welding workshop with quite a few bays there, all set out to, like I've mentioned before, to do the MIG, the gas welding, and also the MMA or stick welding, as most people will know it. We've got an engineering machine shop, which basically consists of a lot of machinery that for lathes and things like that. And at the back we have a yard with undercover storage, where we keep most of our other equipment and some of our vehicles when they're not in use. There's various other resources at our disposal, include tractors, balers and other agricultural equipment, again, that we also store in the yard. If you look, you can see on the little picture on the right hand side there where the engineering shop is. It's the long one straight across from what you can see there is blocked as a conference centre. Right, Jenny, I'm going to give you some information on a little look now at a week in engineering. So the level 2 course, so below some examples of what our level 2 students do on a typical week. As you can see there, there's a lot of hands-on filing, welding, drilling, cutting, using different machinery. Welding, as I mentioned earlier on, you can see one of the students there doing some welding. And then to the right of that, we've got two of our students, level 2 students there, who are carrying out some of the servicing. As mentioned before, the level 2 course runs from Monday to Wednesday, as it stands at this minute in time. So it's a 3 days, and then on the Thursday and Friday, that's when we like you to go on your placement, wherever that might be. This is a little look at some of the level 3 students. They've been basically splitting a case 4220 to remove the gearbox for strip down, because they've been doing the transmission phase. The level 3 course, it runs from Wednesday to Friday. So again, we expect that you'd be doing your placement on the Monday and Tuesday. Materials required. This is basically what you will need to bring when you come to start the course. Pens, pencils and notebooks, because obviously there'll be lots of information that you'll need to take down. Safety boots with steel toe caps. So you'll make sure and that they're not bare steel toe caps, that they are covered. And flame retardant overalls, because again, as we mentioned before, welding, gas cutting and so on, there's obviously the prospect of things setting on fire, so you've got to make sure that the overalls that you've got are flame retardant. Trips and other activities. So we're currently looking into taking students to the Cummins diesel plant in Darlington and to the JCB plant in Uttoxeter. These trips were planned that we know when we started to plan them for last year. Unfortunately, these places have been undergoing some refurbishment, so hopefully that'll be over, and we can start looking at getting back to going there. Just recently, level 2 and level 3 students spent the morning paintballing. So again, it's not all work, there is some play. It's certainly something that we'll be doing again, because as it says there, it was great fun and it was an excellent team building exercise. We also do tractor driving, where we cater for all levels of experience, from advanced to never driven before. As we're aware, a lot of the students that we do get have their own farms and are very competent tractor drivers. But again, we do have some that have never touched any form of driving vehicle whatsoever. So again, we have a purpose-built area where we can go down and we give you the basics, and you can get out there and do some tractor driving. And on the next slide, there's some pictures of the students doing these activities. So as you can see there, we've got some bit of tractor driving using the seesaw. On the top right there, we've got what was an attempt, I think, of parking in a garage area, which was very unsuccessful. And then below that, we've got some pictures there of the level 2 and level 3 students that are out doing some paintballing. Progression. So as we say, it's a matter of where you're going. The whole point of the course is to get you into some form of employment. So there's always a demand for land-based engineers, and it's expected to grow by 5% in the next 10 years. Land-based engineers typically start in salaries around 25,000 a year. With experience, this will rise to around 35,000 a year, and salaries can rise to around 40,000 a year if enough experience is gained. Some students may want to continue down the education route, where they can take it to a degree level if they want to. Our college community, so transport is currently free, but is reviewed each year. The on-site accommodation, so there's a range of ensuite and shared bathroom rooms. They have the student union, which again is all about trips, clubs and support, specialist learning support teams, and free careers advisory service. So as I said, sir, it's not just an education, okay, learning is our nature, and there's lots of other things that are involved within the college itself, not just education. Okay, so as it states here, start your journey with us. So click here to apply now for September 2020. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to get in touch via email, which is my email there, which is scott.white@newtonrig.ac.uk. And basically, as we said there, wishing you all the best during this difficult time, and stay safe.